Taurus. Hi Taurus, thanks for being here, thanks for tuning in. I'm happy to have you here. I'm happy to be pulling cards for you. Whew. This is your reading for mid-May 2022. Okay, it's general reading. Whatever comes up in the energies is what comes up. It's kind of for you to take what I'm saying about the energies and apply it to your life as you see fit. So for you it might apply to relationships, love, career, life path, spirituality, personal development. Take it as you see fit, okay? If I see any obvious themes though, I will let you know. Sometimes the energies do seem to speak quite specifically of particular areas, so I will say to the best of my ability if I'm getting that. I am going to start with tarot, and I'm going to just have a quick look at past energies, current energies, and where those energies might be heading, bearing in mind that everyone has free will, you and other people. I'm pulling on collective Taurus energy, okay? So the messages that come up, they may not necessarily resonate. Like every single message may not necessarily resonate for you. I do believe if you found this reading, there is something in the reading for you. I believe you found the reading for a reason. But do just take the bits that resonate for you and leave the rest behind. Please don't try and force anything to fit. Use your intuition and your discernment above anything else, please. That's the most important thing here, rather than anything that I've got to say. Okay. After tarot, we're going to go to oracle. By the way, I'm going to pull you something from this deck. Normally I pick up the whole deck, but I don't know, I decided to cut the deck when I picked it up. I don't normally do that. That might be something that speaks to you directly, hey? Find your voice and free your spirit. I feel like some of you need to hear that. Find your voice. Maybe that's something. Let's get you some tarot anyway. Was there anything else I needed to say in my blurb? I used to have it all written down, my blurb, and then I kind of lost the paper. Okay, let's get you some cards. Past energy for Taurus, please. I will take that as past, and I will take this as current. I'll try and move it along so you can see everything. Whoops, I've turned that card over several times. So in the past, you've got the Six of Wands, the Devil in reverse, and the Page of Cups. Current energy, you've got Temperance and the Ten of Wands in reverse. One more card for current energy, please. One more card for current energy for Taurus, please. Current energy for Taurus. Thank you. Ooh, that flew out beautifully. The Hermit. Virgo energy. On the Virgo reading, the Hierophant came up, which is your card. Interesting. Future energy for Taurus. Three of Swords. Future energy for Taurus, please. Nine of Wands. Five of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Magician in reverse. Who else have the Magician in reverse? It was one of the fire signs. I think it was Aries. Right. Overall energy of your read is brought to you by the Centre card on the bottom of the deck. Ten of Wands in reverse and the Magician in reverse. Virgo, Taurus even. Sorry. You might be dealing with a Virgo, hey. You've got the Hermit come out. You're trying to make something happen, Taurus. It feels like you're trying to make something happen, but it's not happening. Aries, if it was Aries, also had the Magician in reverse. This feels like blocks manifestations. Something you're trying to make happen is not happening. There's a sense of feeling quite burdened here, Taurus. I don't even, it feels like you're not even acknowledging a sense of feeling burdened. I don't know. It feels like things are getting on top of you. Responsibilities. It feels like responsibilities are getting on top of you. And there's a bit of a sense of stuckness. Like you just finding it hard to get up after a fall. Because just the weight on your shoulders is so strong. Yeah. I don't know what your fall was. But there's the energy of wanting to make things happen. There's the energy of wanting to bring new things into being, but you're not able to at the moment. Maybe we'll get more as we go along. Let's move and look in your past energy anyway. Six of Wands, the Devil in reverse, and the Page of Cups. Interesting. Six of Wands. Page of Cups. Oh, the Page of Cups feels like really sweet energy here. It feels really sweet. Feels like a it's like young love. It feels like kind of naive love, childhood sweetheart, that kind of energy. I feel sweet, and the devil's there, you know, and I'm still getting that sweet feeling from it despite that devil being there. That's interesting, isn't it? What's going on with that, and what is going on with the Six of Wands? Yeah, with the Six of Wands and the Devil in reverse, it feels like some sort of false victory in your past here. I don't feel like it's necessarily to do with this Page of Cups energy, to do with this sweet Page of Cups energy. It feels separate. I mean, everything's connected, but it feels like kind of two different areas of your life, or two different situations in your life. I don't know. Yeah, they will be connected in the way that everything's connected, but it's something else. Something else that's not related to this childhood sweetheart feeling. It's like you thought you'd made progress in something. You thought you'd kind of won at something, if you like. But then it turns out that's not the case with the devil. Somehow this feeling that you were winning, were successful, yeah, like a success that you thought happened or thought was a thing, and then it's just like it turned out to not be a success. A fake victory. That's the best way I can describe it. You know, these readings, I keep them to about 20-ish minutes long. Sometimes I do really in-depth readings as a random thing that are like an hour long or whatever. But these ones I have to try and keep a bit short because I do them twice monthly and it uses my energy, so I can't go digging as much as I kind of want to. But yeah, some sort of success that didn't turn out to be such a great success. Let's look at your current energy, Taurus. Let's look at your current energy. Oh, do you know, I feel like someone else, I feel like the Hermit is someone else's energy here. And I feel like they're trying to shine a light on your... It feels like they're trying to shine a light on something that you're burying. It feels like you're burying some sort of realistic assessment of your own feelings. It feels like it's like you don't want to admit that you feel burdened. You don't want to admit that you feel weighed down by responsibility. For some reason you're trying to bury that knowledge about your own self, bury your own feelings, I guess. But like someone's trying to shine a light on it for you. It's just the way that our cards have come out, just the way this Hermit is facing this Ten of Wands. Feels like external energy to me. But you know, it could be conflicting parts of yourself. It could be that part of you kind of wants to do that introspective work and go inside, but part of you is just really resistant to it. It could be that as well, but it's a bit of a conflict here either way. You know, if it is someone else's energies, then I can see that that's just making you dig a deeper hole for yourself, to be honest, because I don't feel like I am looking at a Taurus who kind of likes to be told what to do. And who does? None of us do, really. That sort of work, the work that feels like is required here, it is kind of work that you have to come to it yourself. You have to reach your own conclusions about it, don't you? So I can feel... It feels a bit like you might be experiencing an outside energy as a sort of nagging, actually. Yeah. Yeah. And perhaps the time is not right for you to do this level of introspection that someone else is kind of asking of you, you know, because sometimes it's just not possible to do that work. Sometimes maybe if you're in survival mode a bit or something like that, or if you have to just get, you might be feeling like you just have to get on and meet these responsibilities that are being asked for you, and now is not the time to kind of lift your head up. Now, you see how he's got his head down? Like, it kind of feels to you like now is just not the time for you to lift your head up and like consider perhaps a reality that you don't want to consider. So feels like patience is needed here. Perhaps like you're asking this external energy to be patient with you. Perhaps if this represents a part of yourself, then you're kind of asking that part of yourself to be patient with you, or you're kind of asking for balance between kind of the part of yourself that wants to dive deep and do introspection and the part of you that is just like, fuck it, I just got to keep my head down and get on with shit. I can't think about this. I can't. I'm surviving. I can't look up and see what else might be available to me. It's almost like it might be too painful to dream, especially with the Magician. Yeah. Well, it's all very human, isn't it? The cards reflect life. Well, let's look at where these energies might be taking you then, Taurus. I really feel like you are being asked to lift your head up. and kind of admit the weight of what you're carrying here. I feel like you're being asked to do that. It just feels like continuing to keep your head down is it feels like it's leading you to betray yourself. That's where it feels like these energies could take you. Feels like self betrayal. Because the Three of Swords is betrayal, but it feels like it's directed towards yourself, and this is self-sabotage. And then we've got this kind of wounded warrior vibe going on with the Nine of Wands. Oh, you don't get any prizes for withstanding suffering. I just feel I need to say that to you, Taurus. Yeah, it's like, feels a bit like I don't know, it feels like you just think this is your lot in life. Suffering is your lot in life. Feels a bit like that. It's like, oh, this is, you know, this is it. This is my life. Sorry, this isn't like the, you know, most cheeriest upbeat reading. This is just what the cards are saying at this particular moment in time. You know, energies are fluid. This is stuff that we all go through anyway, Taurus, isn't it? This is human. So how does Taurus lift their head up? I'm gonna see what I can pull for you. Just a bit of guidance on kind of how to, because it feels, oh, Magician on the bottom of the deck. The right way up this time. See, this Magician is very focused on working with water, working with emotions. You've only got one cups in your reading. That was in your past. That was this kind of sweet, nostalgic, childhood sweetheart kind of vibe feeling, very naive, like teenagers in love feeling. Yeah, it feels a bit like you are being asked to, and I keep getting drawn to the Temperance card as well, and I kind of feel like there's answers in the Temperance card for you. I kind of feel like you're being asked to kind of work with water, work with emotions. See, she's even stood in water. She's dipping her toe in it. She's dipping her toe in it. Yeah. So it's kind of about titrating emotions. I feel like you go from no emotions to all the emotions. So it's about kind of trying to feel them in a way that's safe for you to do so. So like dipping your toe into the water of emotions, you know, and doing it kind of bit by bit. I think that can help you like lift your head up and kind of avoid a sort of self-betrayal, which, you know, I have to be honest with what I see here, which is that's currently where these energies look like they're leading you, which happens, which is human. Let me just see if I can get any more on that, how to help you lift your head up. Page of Swords. Right, okay. So that tells me actually, Page of Pentacles. Right, yeah. It's like I said with that dipping your toe in, because the pages, you've got two pages come out. Pages are very like exploratory, very curious, very like, let's just try something. Let's just try this. So it's kind of that tentative, like taking that first little step and don't worry about what might come 100 steps down the line. Just do that first little step, see how it feels, and then decide where it takes you from there. And being curious about your own self, being curious about your own feelings, and not putting judgment as well aside. And look where that can lead you. Look where that can lead you. This is a different outcome to what we were seeing with the future energies that I sort of originally pulled for you. There's a sense of freedom in this card. Look how like carefree she is. You know, Nine of Cups is traditionally kind of the wish fulfillment card, but I'm just seeing such a freedom here. Yes, and kind of a release. Like, and cups are emotions. Look at the way she's just releasing all those emotions, releasing those cups. It just feels freeing instead of holding everything in. Yeah. So I hope that kind of helps. Pages. Oh yeah. Also, I was going to say with the Page of Swords, the way the Page of Swords has come out, it's to a certain. It's like a balance between doing the intellectual investigation, because you know, whatever your situation is, there's books you can read. You know, there's kind of self-help books, and one of the best books I've ever read is The Body Keeps the Score. That might be something that helps you. But then when you've got that intellectual information about how to kind of help, it is about balancing it with doing the practical things. Yeah, so the 2 pages, it's like intellectual investigation and then doing the practical things to help. It's like that balance. Okay, I've gone on quite a lot now for your reading, but I just felt I wanted to pull some more cards there for that clarity on how you can kind of lift your head up, because it feels like you need to lift your head up. It feels like that's what you're being advised to do, and I didn't want to just leave it there. Let's get you a bird message before we go. Okay, final message for Taurus, please. Final message for Taurus. Thank you. Final message for Taurus, please. Final message for Taurus, please. Thank you. What have you got, Taurus? Dodo, tread lightly on the earth. How interesting. But I notice there's a lot of water in this card as well. Tread lightly on the earth. Tread lightly on the earth. Interesting. Because he's not treading lightly, is he? Like, he's got his head down, he's so burdened, he's weighed down, he's heavy. Tread lightly on the earth. Let's see what the book says for you for Dodo. I'll have to keep these readings short. 48. Once Dodo flourished on the paradise that was Mauritius, an island sanctuary far away from humanity. Dodo, having no enemies, had abandoned flight long ago. Dodo was trusting and loving, innocent of the wiles of human, defenceless against their 17th century mayhem, a mayhem in which, wide-eyed with shock, she was clubbed to death for fresh meat. Her purple feathers bloody drifting on the breeze that once caressed her. Her purple feathers, bloody, drifting on the breeze that once caressed her. Sorry, I can read, honestly. Now only Dodo's soul self remains, safe at last with her shaman spirit master. If Dodo's soul has manifested in your card, she counsels you to be careful in whom you trust and what you believe. She asks you to tread lightly on the earth and to use your inner wisdom to care for its natural bounty, and to remember that she, like so many others, can never return, and that extinction really is forever. Wow. Inner wisdom. The Ace of Wands did come out as well, which I do feel like the way this third eye lit up is about your intuition and your inner knowing. Okay, so Taurus, I hope that helped. I hope that made some sort of sense for you. Thank you for joining me. Do give the video a thumbs up if you appreciated the reading, and do feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. It does help me pick up on your energy for next time. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there for you. Thank you, my loves. Bye.